Hello, dear students. I am Samir Velankar. Let's continue our discussion on knapsack problem to be solved by using dynamic method. In the first video of this particular problem, we saw how to solve a problem by filling a matrix. But we filled that matrix manually without using any formula, and we know that our algorithm is going to use a formula to fill the matrix. The formula for filling the matrix is as written over here, where if a if condition is satisfied, the if condition is if j minus wi, where w means weight of the ith object, is greater than or equal to 0, then the first formula is applicable. But if j minus wi is less than 0, as you see here, then the second formula is applicable. To understand how these formulas work or how they were actually thought of, again, consider the same example which we had solved in the earlier video. Now, here is that example with an empty matrix. We have capacity of the knapsack given as 5. Check this. So, we can fill only 5 kg in our knapsack, and we have been given 4 objects. The weight and profit of all 4 objects are as given below in W and P array. We index our matrix from 0 to 4 because there are 4 objects, so there are 0 to 4 rows, and we will index the columns from 0 to 5 because capacity of the knapsack M is 5. Now we will initialize the entire row 0 with zeros and entire column 0 with zeros. And you know that a particular entry, for example, this entry, which is nothing but C23, second row, third column, stores this entry will store maximum profit that we will earn if we fill only first two objects, because we are talking about second row. So we are interested only in first two objects and we will ignore the third and fourth object. And the knapsack is having capacity of 3. Actually, the knapsack given has capacity 5, but we are now talking about the knapsack having capacity 3. So what is the maximum profit that we will gain after filling first two objects in the knapsack of capacity 3? If we check it manually, we are considering only first two objects. Observe the things I am marking here on the screen. Only first two objects, and knapsack has capacity 3. Now you can see as the weight 3 can be added in the knapsack, second object is the best. It has 3 kg and it has highest profit 30 among the two objects that we are talking about. So C23 should be 30. But this is what we have done. We have found out the best combination among the two objects which will give us the highest profit. Now how is the formula going to help us? Let's go back to formula and check what we are doing. In the formula over here, we first check if j minus wi is greater than or equal to 0. Now, listen, we are finding C23, isn't it? In our example, we are finding C23. That means I, the row number, is 2 and j, the column number, is 3. So basically, j indicates capacity of the knapsack and I indicates the number of objects that you are allowed to fill. So the if statement over here is going to check if j, that is 3, minus wi. Now I is 2. So 3 minus w2, is it greater than or equal to 0? Now you all see that w2 is the weight of second object and weight of second object given is 3. And 3 minus 3 is indeed greater than or equal to 0 because it is equal to 0 at least. So as you see, the if statement j minus wi greater than or equal to 0 is true. So the first formula is applicable. So let's solve the first formula where it says Cij, that is C23. That's what we are finding. So I is 2 and j is 3 is equal to maximum of what? maximum of Ci minus 1j. So that will be C13, correct? C13, comma, Pi. Now observe Pi over here means P2, profit of the second object, plus Ci minus 1. Now Ci minus 1 here means C1, and J minus Wi. Remember, J minus Wi came out to be 0. 3 minus 3 was 0. So we are finding maximum of these two. That will be maximum of C13. Now what is C13? Now come on, you know what we are doing. We are doing dynamic approach. Now in case we are doing dynamic approach, then the time at which we are finding C23, this element, the state where we are finding this element, we have already found C13, this element, because we are filling in the row order, isn't it? So we are taking whatever is the value stored in C13. Now come on, what will be C13? C13 will be the maximum profit that you will get after adding only first object, because we are talking about row 1 and capacity of the knapsack is 3. Now watch, if you have only first object, okay, first object as I am marking, weight of the first object is 2, but you have got knapsack with capacity 3, isn't it? So you can fill that entire object because knapsack is having more capacity than the weight of the first object. Hence, after filling the first object, you will get the profit of 20 here. By the way, this element is also going to be found by our formula. But please try to understand the time at which we are finding C23, we have already found C13, isn't it? So this value is already found and it is 20 as I am writing, comma, P2 means profit of the second object. Now profit of the second object over here is, as you see, 30. So 30 is the profit, and added to this is C10. Now watch this element, C10, this element which I am marking in the matrix. C10 anyway is 0. All the columns, all the elements in row in column 0 are 0. So this is 30 plus 0. Here we go in the formula. Now maximum between these two is obviously 30, isn't it? It's obviously 30. And the element that was under the inspection C23 has come out to be 30. That's how we got this value as 30. Okay, let's find out what will be the value of C33. Let's see. What is the value of C33? C33 means we are allowed to add any of the first 3 objects. Fourth object should not be taken because we are talking about third row, and the knapsack is given having capacity of 3, not 5. So what will be the content of C33? Now, when you are finding C33, obviously a few elements will change in the formula as I will do here. Let's see. What are we finding? C33. So I is 3 and J is 3. Now, first of all, let us check the condition. The condition is if J minus Wi is greater than or equal to 0. Now, as you see, J is 3. So 3 minus W3, isn't it? Because I is also 3. Is it greater than or equal to 0? Now, W3 is weight of the third object. And observe the data given. Weight of the third object is just 1. So 3 minus 1 is indeed greater than or equal to 0. So the first formula is applicable. So let's solve C33. We want to find C33 using the first formula because J minus Wi is greater than or equal to 0. But then the formula says Cij, that is C33, should be equal to max of Ci minus 1j. Now Ci minus 1 is going to be 2. Ci minus 1j, j is 3, comma, Pi. Pi stands for P3 here, profit of the third object, plus Ci minus 1. I minus 1 is 2. And j minus wi, recall j minus wi was also 2 because it was 3 minus 1. Observe. So if you try to find out this, we have to know what is C23. And come on, you know from our discussion that C23 was found when we are finding C33, C23 was already found, and that was 30, comma. What is profit of the third object, P3? Observe the data, it is 11 plus C22. Now, what should be C22? Actually, C22 was also found before we start finding this element C33. But C22 is equal to maximum profit that we will earn after filling first two objects in the knapsack of capacity 2. And you see, if you take only first two objects and knapsack is having capacity 2, then only first object having weight 2 can go, and the C22 element is going to be 10. So C22 here I am updating in the formula is 10. So maximum between these two is 30, and indeed C33 is going to be 30. Isn't it so? Now just check. We have been using the first formula always. When will be the second formula used? Second formula will be used if j minus wi is less than 0, isn't it? If it is less than 0, let's see. What if we are finding, let's say we are finding C, let's say C24, or let's say we are finding C21. Okay, C21. Let's try to find C21. C second row, first column. What that means is we are allowed to add any of the first two objects because I is 2, and capacity of the knapsack, that is j, is just 1. You are filling two objects in knapsack of capacity 1. Now let's try to find out j minus wi over here. J is 1 minus wi means weight of second object because I is 2. And observe 1 minus weight of the second object is 3. Greater than or equal to 0 is false. That means the second formula is applicable when you are filling C21. C21, which I am marking in the matrix, is simply equal to Ci minus 1. Watch the formula. Ci minus 1 is nothing but C1 and J, that is 1. So we are taking an element from above. Now what is that element basically? C11. Observe C11 is the maximum profit that we will get after adding only first object in the knapsack of capacity 1. And if you have only first object, as I am marking here, in the knapsack of capacity 1, you can add nothing, isn't it? Because weight of the object is 2 and the knapsack is having capacity 1. So the profit at C11 is going to be 0. So C21 is going to be 0. I hope you are understanding two formulas. Now the formalization over here will be actually used by our algorithm, isn't it? And what you have to understand is anyway, row 0 and column 0 is entirely initialized to 0. And what we have to do is we have to fill all the elements of this matrix from 1 to m. Remember, m was the capacity of the knapsack, and all rows here from 1 to n. Remember, n are the number of objects. That means in our algorithm we will run a nested for where I will run from 1 to n and j will run from 1 to m. And in that formula, in that nested for loop, we will try to find Cij in the row order. We will find Cij in the row order, isn't it? Using those formulas. So here is the algorithm that has been written as the algorithm says for I is equal to 1 to n are the number of objects, so these are rows. For J is equal to 1 to M is the knapsack capacity. So these are columns. If J minus Wi is greater than or equal to 0, then Cij is equal to max of Ci minus 1j, comma Pi, profit of the ith object, plus Ci minus 1 J minus Wi. Otherwise, Cij is Ci minus 1j. You can see if that condition is false, then if J minus Wi is false, then Ci minus 1, Cij is equal to Ci minus 1j. That is the first part of this particular formula. And when the nested for loop ends, we hardly have to print maximum profit. And maximum profit is given by last row and last column, the cornermost element, which is C and M. Before I close the discussion, I would like to talk about the formula again. What is the formula saying? That if you are trying to find Cij, then first of all you check, can you add the ith object in the knapsack? When can you add ith object in the knapsack? If the capacity, remember J is the capacity of the knapsack, minus weight of the ith object. Weight of ith object is greater than or equal to 0. That's what the if statement is checking. For instance, just imagine capacity of the knapsack is 2 and weight of the ith object is 3. Now, how can you add this object in the knapsack? Knapsack will break because knapsack is having capacity of 2 and you can't add an object with weight 3. So, is this difference greater than or equal to 0? No, false. This will break the knapsack, isn't it? Hence, as this if statement is false, we will be using our second formula, isn't it? And what second formula says is that don't add ith object. Look at that. Cij is Ci minus 1j. I were the number of objects, isn't it? And j was the capacity of the knapsack. So it says that if knapsack is breaking by adding ith object, it's better not to add ith object. So go with I minus 1 objects. That is, if you are finding C33 and third object is going to break the knapsack, then go for C23, isn't it? I minus 1j. Cancel out the ith object as ith object is going to break the knapsack. But what if, just imagine capacity of the knapsack is, let's say 4. It is 4. And the weight of the ith object that we are adding is 3. Now j minus wi 4 minus 3 is greater than or equal to 0. True condition, isn't it so? So we can add ith object because adding ith object is not going to break the knapsack. Then the first formula is applicable because j minus wi is greater than or equal to 0. Let's see what the first formula says. The first formula says it has two parts. You watch. I'm marking the second part to begin with, isn't it? You can add ith object. So imagine you have added ith object, then you will definitely get profit of ith object because you have added ith object. And then how many objects are remaining? Obviously you have added ith object, then I minus 1 objects remain, isn't it? And what is the capacity of the knapsack remaining? Obviously you have added ith object, so the initial capacity j minus weight of the ith object, isn't it? Weight of the ith object is the remaining capacity. So you will then use I minus 1 objects, that is Ci minus 1, and remaining capacity, that is J minus Wi. Add it to the profit due to ith object. This is one possibility I am saying. That is, you will be adding ith object. If you add ith object, you will get this profit. But what if you don't add ith object? I mean, I know that you can add ith object, definitely. But what if you don't add it? You will still get the profit due to I minus 1 objects, isn't it? And the capacity is J. Whatever is the maximum between these two entries is taken as the best entry or the maximum profit for Cij. Isn't it so? I guess that you might not have understood this formalization, but I suggest all of you to take as many entries possible in this matrix and just substitute the values and see that how the formulas work. In some live session, we will be learning more about these formalizations in case you are having any difficulties. Thank you very much.